Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Diggs.
All right, welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. I got exciting guests today. Bruce Carlton Cunningham Jr. is here from the movie Unresolved. That's on TUBI now. Welcome to the show. You brought your friend Cetrus with us, and also a star in the film. You kind of had like the comic relief kind of part a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So
something like that.
my buddy Clayton Series helping me co-host today. We both watched the movie Unresolved yesterday, and I'll tell you what, I loved it. I'm so excited for you and all your success. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on TUBI. It's going to all different types of streaming platforms. Do you feel relieved that it's over, like that you got to this point?
Very. After this point, but it's like now at this point, it's kind of like another wait.
Okay, why is that?
Because you gotta get people to watch it now.
Oh, that's right. Is that more? What's more fun, the creation, like the filming, the editing, or now the marketing? What's the? If you had to choose like one of the three, what would it be?
Well, if you talk about this movie in particular, where I'm at right now is a good place. Marketing is a good place. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I watched the movie last night, and I was like, that guy came to my house, and he did not act like that. he was a nice guy when he was a nice guy when he came to my house. You do such a great job acting in it. I just like me and Clay were talking before when we started this podcast. The editing, the acting, the cinematography. It was filmed in St. Louis. I was like, I've been there. I've been to that spot. Tell us a little bit more about the process of the film and like, how it all got started for you.
Oh man, yeah. That was a long movie. It was a long process.
Now, did you start that before COVID or was this after COVID?
Before COVID.
Okay, so
we didn't even know COVID was gonna hit before we started this. But we started filming in 2017.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
June 10th, 2017.
Wow.
I had planned it for like a 3-month shoot, but little did I know, this is, if you, a studio, you can do it in 3 months, but you just an indie.
Right.
So it take longer than that.
So it started in 2017. Where did the story, how did it come? I know we talked about this in the other podcast, but people might not have watched that one. But like, tell us again how like you came up with this idea. Because I'll tell you what, it's really well written and like the story changes and the character arcs and it, has all these twists in the plot. I mean, it's a really, really great film how you designed it. Yeah.
Well, the concept started, back in the day, back in 2007 when we did, at church, we did that, that kill scene, And then we did it for a youth conference, and then the next year we did the sequel to it. But that's where the concept started.
Oh, okay.
2007, 2008, but then I put it on the shelf, and then 2014 came back around.
Okay.
And I was like, realization of myself as far as a filmmaker goes, I tried to do it again as like a longer short, but that didn't work out. And so I went back to the drawing board and I started to write the script to what it is now. And then that's how it came about. But it was a short, and then when it didn't work out, I was just like, I started writing, and then I'm long-winded anyway. And so this, I got to develop this more. And then I switched the characters around.
Okay.
I was originally the antagonist.
Oh, you're playing the female lead?
Oh, well, not the female lead, but I switched. I guess what do we say? Our destinies around.
Oh, okay.
I still did what I did, but there was no change in my character.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Prison didn't change it. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't. It was just I was that, and so these ideas came about. So I switched it around. I did I made it longer. I just kept writing, and I had a few dreams, and I put into the story too. That's how one of the characters got his role. He don't know it, but that's how he got his role because he was a part of the dream. Shout out to Bernard Quinn. He plays that big guy, BT.
Okay. Yeah, he did a good job. Well, they all did a good job. Everybody was great. You were fantastic. And you were making me laugh. Like, you're about when you guys go in the basement and you're like, respect the house. And,
Respect the house.
Was this your first acting gig?
As far as a feature-length film, yes. I mean, but like he said, we had did like shorts and plays and stuff at the church together for years. So. But yeah, as far as first behind-the-camera feature-length, that was the first time.
Well, that's why I thought the film was so good, because I'm not trying to dog other St. Louis films, but there's some like you see a St. Louis film, and no offense, but like the acting's so like over the top, but you mannerisms and stuff, and the way you shot it, like it was like. It's like you guys like wasn't your first feature film. That's what I felt like when watching it.
Yeah, I mean we worked together when we was with him. You know what I'm saying? But we close anyway, so we do that anyway.
Oh, okay. We were pretty much just being ourselves.
So we were doing it anyway because that particular scene we shot it. It was a microphone issue before I knew what ADR was and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we shot it again, but it was kind of like just be yourself. And
is that why he puts his glasses back on when he goes down the steps?
Well, that was a mistake, a continuity mistake.
Yeah, so I thought maybe because he's like, I got Dusty's glasses off or something. Like I was like,
and I told him to do that because it was a continuity mistake.
I missed that. I didn't notice something.
Yeah, well, you know us all that kind of stuff with the continuity stuff. But so the your character goes to prison, comes back. He did a lot of bad things before he went to prison. And so there's people that are kind of like out to get him. Is this story something that's off of real life? I mean, where did you kind of, figure this kind of story out? Because when you came back, I liked what you did when like your character was eating. He was just like, he was like Cookie Monster, because he was in prison. He never had like So where did you do your research? Obviously, I don't think you went to prison for 8 years. Okay.
No, I didn't. But definitely research. I know some people that was in prison.
Okay.
You got a couple of them in the film, a couple of them that wasn't in the film.
Yeah.
And, I got a family member who was in prison, so I would ask him, hey, just give me the ins and outs. How do you sit and how do you eat? And he told me how you sit, how you eat when you're in prison, and what you got to be mindful of. And then, what's the transition when you get out of prison and into civilization?
Yeah.
Everything's new to you. Everything looks different.
Well, I love it because he's like, "What the fuck is Facebook Messenger or something like, or is Facebook
Live?
Facebook Live." Yeah.
So I wanted those nuances in there because it's real life, and I had never lived that life. I never ran the streets, so if I'm playing this character, I need to research this character, and I need to research, how with street life, because he has a part of that when I did the flashback scenes, and then coming out of prison, how do I sit, how do I act, how do I walk, how do I talk, how do you dress, what's new to you, is there a quick adjustment to when you get back on the streets,
right? What?
Or you really want some what you call some booty when you get out, so,
right.
You want a woman when you first get out. Are you mindful of making a mistake and that'll send you back to prison? So
right.
Yeah.
Fear of going back was probably a big thing.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of go from being director? Hey, let's do this, and then you got to like find like. And get into that mode of like acting. It seems like with some of those scenes would be hard to be a leader on set and then try to like, okay, I got to be fucking mean here,
Yes, it's hard work, but I'm used to it. Like we did the productions back in the day. I was director and I was acting, and so I pretty much trained myself to do it. But I think it's difficult.
Yeah,
because you got to get into that mindset, especially when we're doing the crime scene and whatnot, and those emotional scenes.
Yeah.
Especially with him, I was just like, we were standing out there. I'm like, ain't no tears coming. I'm trying to get it, so I'm trying, and I'm trying to direct at the same time. So it's kind of like, but once we get in the moment, it
just starts.
It starts to flow. Yeah.
Okay, because you were talking about you started in 2017. Obviously, the date now is 2024.
Yeah.
I've worked on a lot of film sets. It's hard to keep people for 2 weeks straight. How the hell did you keep people for 6 years, 7 years straight? You know, the dedication, because some of these characters are not just in one scene.
Yeah, that was my first too, man. Because when I found out it's gonna take longer than 3 months, I was like, praying, making sure I keep a cool relationship with people. I think it come down to leadership.
Yeah. Okay.
How you talk to people, how you treat people.
Were you showing them like dailies that they see what was work with their? Because that's how I kind of motivate people. I'm like, I try to get the scene done, edit it. That way they can kind of see what's going on, so that keeps them kind of motivated, keeps adding that log on the fire.
Not too much. It was so mostly like, how did I do? Y'all, you did good. But it was mostly like, this conglomerate of people where we wanted to make a film. Everybody, me as a director, I wanted to make a movie, and them as actors, they wanted to be a part of a movie, and we really wanted to get this done. And, like I said, it was one of my biggest fears that they would drop off the project, but all of them like, we're gonna rock with you, Bruce. So shout out to the cast.
There was a lot of people in the film. That's why I kept thinking of the number of actors, and I was like,
it was
wow.
a ton. I think we had 4. I counted 4 that have been on the podcast, and so that's pretty good. So, yeah.
And so that was but just I think when somebody doesn't give up and continues to progress, I think people want to be a part of that too. Because I've heard the stories where here in St. Louis, people have started films but didn't finish it.
Right.
And and so people were like that were discouraged by that. They part of the project, but the director doesn't film it. All right, so that was also pressure on me because, hey, Bruce, you gonna finish this, man? Because he was like that. Joe was like, man, we gonna finish it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna finish it. So yeah,
I think the whole cast, I think everybody, because he painted the vision. Of what he was trying to do, and though obstacles came up, everybody bought in. Everybody just bought in and was like, okay, we rocking with you because he's committed, so I'm gonna be committed too.
It had so many great twists in it, and it's not you thought it was gonna get popped. So I just love the twists and turns. Now, when people like read that like they're gonna get killed, were they kind of like, oh man, is this my end?
No, everybody took it like a champ. I remember. It was one woman. She did that, but she's not in the film though.
Oh, okay.
She was a part of original footage, but she's not.
I like the scene with the church where she's something to your face. I don't want to give too much away. And then also the one scene where you come in like it's a flashback about your character. Yeah, and that was kind of like, whoa, man, this guy wasn't a very good guy back in the day.
Oh yeah, because that was a circumstance where you had, you were in another circumstance with that lady. Don't reveal too much, and then things change. And that was cool flashback.
I just like the twist. Now, for you, what was your favorite scene in the film? What's one that you were in and one that you were not in? Kind of
favorite scene that I was in was probably the basement scene, of course.
Oh yeah,
because I think we kind of just. Yeah. We just flowed, and I was looking around. I'm like, okay, we just gonna use whatever we got here. Let's just.
So did you plant the boobies, or were the boobies already there?
It was already
there. Everything was there.
The booby mug was there already. Okay.
Speaking of big walls,
big walls,
yeah. So that was already. As a matter of fact, that scene that emotional scene at the end, that's in the same. That's like in the basement. That we did our scene.
Oh, okay.
So it took place in the same house. A lot of that we shot it at that same location. Shout out to Willie Mae and his wife Annie. She let him let us use the crib. But that was cool. Right. Good people. But because I asked him, can we use the house? He was like, well, let me ask Annie. So because he was always telling me, I just want my credits so small where you can't see them. I'm like, all right. So yeah.
Man. What was one scene what you were not in?
What I was not in was, I like the scene where when you say it hit the fan, we're like, we gotta go.
Oh,
We gotta go. He's like, I talked to him. I know.
Yeah.
They probably on their, So that scene, because you could see the acting, and just pulling that out with the emotions in the different parts of the film, to see that just the whole thing, to see the completed product, to see the completed project, because when you're doing it, it's in bits and pieces, and it's not, you know what I'm saying, streamlined straight across. So,
right.
And then when you see the National Lampoon, where they're trying to go, everybody else is kind of like, oh, we're just gonna go, Clark, and then he's like, no, come on, we got to get there.
How about for you, Bruce? What was your favorite scene filming, and then what's one that you were not in that you really enjoyed?
Well, I was a part of every scene.
Well, but
the one I would say with me and my daughter.
Oh, that one's a good one.
That's one I had to get all those things done, like before she went back off to school. Get all those done, and because children, they change, they age. They're not gonna look the same the next year.
Well, that's why I was with the girl with they had to get the hospital thing going on. Like the young one, like that might have been an issue with.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay,
that's my daughter.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay,
yeah, that's my actual daughter.
Okay.
And so, but that was a milestone for our lives. I always wanted to, be in a movie with my own kid. So, here we go. And so we did that, and it was mostly, those were actually real tears.
Oh,
that's when we talking about how directing and acting can be a challenge, because that was a reshoot. And then I had to do 4 takes because the emotions weren't coming, because I'm concerned about technical stuff. So it puts you out your mind. And so, but I finally got it, I just started talking to her about how proud of her I am. And so the father emotions started coming out, I started crying. Okay, let's roll camera, let's do it.
yeah.
So that one,
I like the scene. It was, it wasn't, I guess she's not your real daughter, but your older daughter, when she was in I guess it was, the studio. She was in the studio, and that's when it revealed that one character was, something related to the guy that you killed, and so that was like, oh shit, this is a great setup. I thought that was a good scene too. Yeah,
that wasn't my favorite though, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm there, so I'm like, I gotta make sure y'all get this right. I got 3 of them. My second one was at the end, with a woman sitting with the newspaper.
Oh yeah, Kasia.
Yeah, Kasia. And so because that was like, the movie's over, it's completed. Oh man!
So that was the final shot of the movie.
Shot of the movie.
Well, you got a great actress there. She's one of the best in St. Louis, in my opinion.
Yeah. She's real, extremely talented. And I was like, can you come do this? And she was like, sure. We did it, and it was kind of like, I watch it 11 times before I go to bed, because it's kind of like, it's that scene before the credits go off.
Yeah.
And then the score, how Andrew Simicare scored it, I was just like, that was a relief. The movie's, I'm done. God, And so, and then my third one was the drive-by scene.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, because we would, that was at a time where it was hard for me emotionally. And I had just got back from Netflix. The DP on the project, David, we went out. I was his guest to fly out to Netflix. They flew us out to Netflix because he did a film called Static Shock.
I heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah. And so they wanted to showcase it at this program they were doing. And he asked me, did I want to come too? I was like, sure. And so I went out, and then I saw how Netflix is set up, and saw the, the studios, and and I was like very inspired, and I couldn't wait to come back home. So I got to finish it. And so that when we got back home, that was like one of the last scenes that we filmed, and it was just, I think it was just magical. My godmother, she let me use her house, the front yard, and whatnot. Everybody came through, and we just started filming. Everybody, it was just like, and then, that was just a magical moment for me.
Yeah, amazing. So I got So with the Netflix thing, do you have a connection to bring this film to some kind of show?
Oh no, that wasn't my connection. That was his. I was just there. So,
okay.
But they brought him there to showcase his film, and then I was an actor in that film.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, but for what I was going through, and me being a filmmaker, I'm like, wow, Netflix flew us out here.
That's awesome.
Hotel room and whatnot. I was just like, and that was like my first time in California too.
Oh wow.
And it was just amazing. And then to see how they do things on the back end side and whatnot. And so I was just like, wow. I was just like, amazed, inspired. So, every now and then we need that extra boost of energy, and that was a big boost of energy, and I was like, when I got back, I'm like, I'm finna finish this film, like, and so that was one of the scenes where we finished.
Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome. You touched a little bit about the score. I did find the score very, very amazing. Who did the score? Did they watch the film, or did you have the songs prior to the editing process?
Andrew Filmmaker. He's out of Texas. I think Dallas, Texas. I was introduced to him by David because he did one of David's films, and I sent him a copy of the film, and we met via Zoom. And I told him that we went scene by scene, and I told him the idea I was looking for and whatnot. And so he was like, cool. And so he took it, and then I think every 2 or so weeks we'll meet up, and this is what I got. Okay, cool. And I tell him to tweak it or adjust it if need be. And so that's how we got that done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought, go ahead.
Yeah, I liked that, you had like kind of some classical kind of piano stuff, and then you had, rap, and there was, it was a really good soundtrack,
Oh yeah, my producer, who's actually my cousin, Bobby. Big shout out to him. But he was like, I wanted to be like Black Panther. I'm like, shoot, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my pockets. It's like, but I'm like, okay, I think with this film we making the impossible possible. So I'm kind of like, okay, my goddaughter, who was my music supervisor, she a lot of her songs in there, and then she recommended me. Well, she helped me select the music that was going to be in there. Okay. And then finding Andrew, and it was just kind of like, when he finished the score, I was like, wow, this is a different movie now.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
It's amazing what the music can make a scene. Can make the performances better or worse sometimes. Yeah. But
that's why at the end, the score at the end, when you see Cage's character sitting there, and then how he did that, I keep rewinding because like, man, that's bone chilling right there.
Yeah, it was.
So
It almost seems like it could be another movie. Like could continue it somehow.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
With the family story, obviously. I love this scene. These scenes in here too. And I'll cut to it here. Kind of talk about just the locations. Was it hard to find locations for this film? Like it seemed like it's a whole family project. That's when I read the credits and what you're talking today, it seems like it was church and family really helped you put this together.
Both, and then even more people than that. When we talk about locations, the church I was going to at the time, they let me use the church, the what you call it, parking lot. And then family, I needed some locations, some houses to shoot in. I need well furnished houses and whatnot. My mother, my godmother, even him outside of his house. Actors, they let me use the houses, And so that really helped. Hey man, can I use your crib? Yeah. So
I guess you had that warehouse too, right in there.
Their warehouse, it was 2 different locations
Gotcha.
to make that scene. One, but yeah, using that, and some places I had to rent out. When you talking about jail cells and prisons, then I got the big nose on that because nobody let me use their jail cells or prison. So we had to improv and.
I saw you standing outside like a fenced area or something.
Yeah, I found that.
You made it work though. Yeah,
I found it. Just can't go past that gate line.
Yeah.
So, but I had to make it, at least look like it because I went to the Illinois. It's a prison over there, and I'm like, can we film here? He looked at me like that. And I'm kind of like, well, how all these other people got prisons and jails and stuff and everything? And I'm like, everybody give me a no. I mean, well, what gives? Right. And so I had to tap into my resources. Shout out to Rodney Wright. He built that taller than sink combo for me. At the beginning of the film, when I'm doing the push-ups and whatnot, because he knew what it looked like, a prison cell looked like, and he did work for me as far as set design, stage design for me. So we're like, all right, I got you. And then he did a good job. He loaded everything on the truck and brought it out there. So of course, I had some people who had been to prison that was actually in the movie and on set was kind of like directing me on how to do, push-ups. Now we do diamond push-ups in prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was like we do diamond push-ups. Like at the beginning when Tremaine getting this stuff. Antonio, he's also in the film. He plays the uncle, the quiet one, real quiet one.
Okay.
Came down in the drop top.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, man, you better grab your paperwork. Make sure you get your paperwork back then, because you can't leave prison without your paperwork. Somebody else taking your paperwork and leave. But that was the little subtle stuff that he was telling me, that I needed because they understood it. So when I played it, when I actually acted it out, he was like, yeah, that's how you do it. But I got this from he helped me. Rodney helped me. Shout out to Gerald Harris at the beginning. He was like, don't come back. He was actually did prison time too, and we actually feed there when we did the whole prison setup, but he had stuff to do, and I was just like, that's the whole freaking theme of the film. I can't just go. I had everything, I was editing. I'm like, hey, can we do this? So we found a schoolyard against the wall. I had sent some. He was like, yeah, that looks like it. So, and then we just shot it straight on. So it looked like a prison yard. I'm like, all right, this. I don't know what they were in prison. He knew what they were in prison. So when he came with it, okay. I ain't want to argue with it.
Right.
He been there, I haven't. But I told him, tell me what you would tell somebody when they just getting out of prison. You don't want to return. All right, cool. And he just gave this whole spiel. This whole spiel. Every angle he shot, he gave a different spiel. So but it was authentic. That's how he talk for real. Yeah. And big shout out to him. So that's how I got that. Those that character down as far as getting out of prison because what they had showed me.
Okay. Here, go to the scene here. This scene here. It's right when you got out of prison, so you're ready. You're ready. That's all I'm going to say. You're ready. Yeah. You got a question?
I know it slipped out of my head, so it'll come back to me here in a minute. What I was trying to think.
What's some other takeaways? Because you were talking about the premiere that when people watched it, because you showed it at the Galleria, and then people, we don't want to give the ending away, but people were kind of screaming at the screen a little bit, or how was the audience response when you? How
does the public take it? And so when he started doing it, let me come in, somebody giving you, and I was just like, because I'm laughing.
Yeah. The part that I bust out laughing was when just before you went out to go get a drink when you were at your brother's house, and you were in the bathroom, and then she comes in. She's like, "You're like, all right, let's go out and get a drink," because you grabbed the stuff on the counter. I busted out laughing on that. That was a good one.
We actually performed that on stage.
Oh man! Oh yeah.
After I wrote it,
was
we did this.
Yeah, it was.
We did this. We was doing these skits, so they asked me to come up with something. I'm like, dang, I can't come up with something, dude. So I had like few scripts written, so I just took a scene on.
I told him, I said, so we were talking about like when we were younger on stage at the church now.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I said something like, yeah, like the time Mama came in and caught you rubbing one out.
Because the scene was I'm sitting on I got out of prison, and you know what I'm saying, the same thing that you probably saw in the movie, but it's slightly different. But then it's the girl kisses me, and I'm sitting on the couch in the basement by myself right now. I think I'm alone, but I get the lotion, and I put the cover, about to go. Then he comes in, hey man, I get out. You still doing that?
Oh God!
And so it was like, then he starts this ad lib, and I'm trying not to break character, because when I get up, all the lotion flies.
Oh jeez!
And this is a church. Yeah, you do this in church. And I'm trying to go slow because my back is turned to him.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep it censored at church, but it's just like, okay, is he gonna come in now? Because he's supposed to come in by now, and I'm already under covers, and I don't want to get the motion, right? Because now I'm getting, dude, come on. And so as I was about to do the thing, he comes in, I come up, and then all the lotion just starts flying everywhere. It was risque for that audience. Yeah. But then he goes on this ad lib, and I'm trying to break
crusty socks on the floor.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
So that chemistry, we brought it to set.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have kind of like I'm sure it was like a bunch of jokes off camera, in between takes. You guys are probably having a good time in between some of these takes, right?
Oh man, it was yeah, most definitely. I just put out a post. What happened to Morgan? We had her on the set.
Oh yeah.
We were filming one of our scenes, the end scenes, and then her glasses gets knocked off, and we're kind of like, the cameraman is Steve right now, and he's filming her. Just got this tight shot of her, getting beat up. The glass off to the side, and I should have picked the freaking glasses up because they wasn't even in the shot. But I'm thinking continuity, and so Armonte is kicking her, but he steps out of scene and comes back in for another one. Then he steps back out of scene, in my direction and whatnot, and then we hear this. Oh no! And then she gets out, and then he was like, "Oh shh." Steps on her glasses.
Oh, that's why her glasses changed in the film, huh?
No, she did it. It's just in that particular that day while we filming, we need those glasses for continuity purposes.
Yeah.
To get the stuff that happened before she got beat up.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking she about to walk off the set too. These are glasses, they prescription glasses.
Oh wow! Okay.
And you never know. I'm nervous. We've been, we've been filming this long. I don't want nothing to trip nobody off before they gonna leave.
Yeah.
And so she looking like, I don't think she can see it, but she can see it. And I'm kind of like, oh my God! And we need the glasses because continuity. So I had to go get some tape and obscure it. To continue finishing, good thing but he broke the frames. Good thing he didn't break the glass part.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
I was like, because then that one thing happens on set that you got to stop production to get it fixed, or if you can't, So I didn't need that.
What's the toughest thing you think to film? The action stuff or like the dialogue? Like what's harder to? I don't know. It just seems like some of those action scenes would be hard to kind of choreograph.
Definitely the fighting.
The fight. Oh, right. Cause
the fighting, the action, and then you have to put makeup in there because That was a 16-hour to get all that done, and we had to split it in 2 8-hour days because of the facility we rented out. So yeah, and and then we did the gunfighting and whatnot. The gunfighting's not that challenging. It's the fighting because you got to match that up, and then not hit. I can't just punch a man in his nuts. Yeah, nuts are sensitive, so you can't be punching nobody. But you got to do it where it looks believable when they jerk back. But you got to do it at the right time and whatnot. Yeah, because you don't want to injure anybody on set and that type. So it takes a while to get that fighting choreography done. It takes a while.
It seems like it would be sometimes people get like when they're in a fight scene, they get like riled up or whatever, and then you got to make sure that it's almost like a dance. Kind of a dance scene. I heard that people compare fighting to like dance choreography too, right?
Yeah, and then working with the right people because I don't want everybody to get all get so excited in your role that you injure somebody. I've heard those horror stories,
right?
Let's not injure anybody because then I don't need anything to be stopping set or I got to delay production again or whatnot, and I don't need a fight to break out on set either. Y'all some big guys. I can't separate y'all. So, that when it comes to fight choreography, that takes you need to plan that out. Allow yourself a lot of time to shoot those.
One of my favorite characters, I thought she did a fantastic job. Well, first Jasmine out there, she's a friend of mine, and I think played your wife, and so she's great. So shout out to her. But I'm gonna call her the evil queen or whatever. That was like she almost had like a Tiffany Haddish kind of acting style. It seemed like. How did you come up with that character, and like, what was the process for her to help her find that character?
Who is this now?
The woman at the end that you that shot you.
Oh, okay. You spoiled it.
Well, it's fine. I didn't say what happened. But yeah.
Elizabeth. She played the role of Marcia. So,
Marcia. Okay, I couldn't think of the
Marcia.
name. Yeah. She wrote that.
I simply just told her I want this mixture between Griselda and Harlan Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah. I see that. So give me your mixture of that.
Okay. Yeah, she did great. So shout out to her. She was
shout out to Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's amazing. So what's the next? So you got this done now. It's out on TUBI. It's on Prime Video. You said you had other scripts that you wrote. Are you working on the next project, or are you kind of just focused on this still?
Well, I've been doing all this marketing and promotions and whatnot, and then trying to rest, find some other vacation. But been focusing on it. But excuse me, idea wise, those ideas where I'm gonna go next, how I'm gonna continue the story. That's one of the biggest questions and whatnot. And then talking to the team, how been getting thoughts of how I should proceed forward as far as filmmaking. Period. Do another movie, then circle back around and continue the story, or go continue the story in some type of way. Because one of my biggest decisions now is, do I do the prequel or the sequel?
Yeah. Okay. So it could be a trilogy at one time, maybe.
Yeah, more than a saga.
It seemed like because it was almost 3 hours. It was 2 hours and 46 minutes, which is fine. But like you could almost probably made that into like a mini series too, with some of especially the way you had twists going throughout the film. Like you could almost make those stopping points for the end of an episode or something. I was thinking.
Yeah. And so now, as I said, should I do a series? Because I'm leaning towards a series. With it. Because the idea has been planned. I just had to get this one done. And so, and then that is and then the industry.
Right. It seems like that's what the industry thing is now, is more series, pushing series in films. Right?
It depends on who you are.
Right.
Now, today is dependent on who you are and your popularity.
Yeah.
And then who you actually have in your fam now. So it's kind of like, again, I'm learning that casting is very important, but also hiring celebrities or well-known actors in your film too.
Right.
As far as on the business side, as far as to get traction in your film. And so, but then you need some revenue in your pocket,
right?
Because they're not doing it for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No actress is doing it for free. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to hire Denzel Washington, you better have some Denzel Washington money in your pocket.
Right. But I think now that you made this film, like you have this now that people can look at, okay, he's done this film, it's good. He completed this film, he put it out there, he actually took it, he didn't just put it like the one film festival, it's actually playing now in streaming services. I think your next project is going to be that much more easier because you've already done this film.
One would hope to think that.
Well, I think that. I think, yeah.
But as I'm learning, as I'm going, it's if that happens, good, because it's kind of like, you made a film, regardless how much time you spent on doing it.
Yeah,
but everybody's making them now. And so what has to happen is you need to create awareness about who you are and the film that you made, and get people to watch and put it in front of folk, and then bank on if they actually going to watch it. And then if they watch it, do they like it?
Right.
So it's leg work, as I'm learning, and I'm only speaking for myself, that at every stage of making this film, even to where I'm at marketing now, it's a big learning experience that, people don't know you. I mean, if I was Denzel Washington or, Michael B. Jordan and whatnot, of course people know me. Or some famous rapper, singer, whatever, sports guy, whatever, but I don't have that. I'm just I'm coming up, I'm up and coming filmmaker, and nobody know me. I don't have a large following, so I have to grow all of that. I have to, yes, the film is my calling card, but I have to grow all that. So I have to do the extra legwork to get it in front of folks' eyes. Here, I made this movie. It's available on these platforms. Watch it. Let me know what you think and whatnot. And so it takes legwork to put it out there. I learned it doesn't happen automatic. Right. So it's definitely a lot of rolling up your sleeves, and they don't teach this in film school.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great life skills though too, right? I'm sure you became a better person just making this film, and you've learned a lot of great life skills probably. Just
most
the
definitely.
way you talk to people, the way you work with people, and things like that.
Oh yeah, you better talk to people cool because they'll walk off your set. Right. The ones you need go walk off your set. Yeah, yeah. So like, okay, so, but but definitely this is a good position to be in.
You're in a great position. I'll tell you what, if I showed any of the people in my core group or that watch this show they see this film, they're going to be knocking at your door, DMing you, hey, you got a board for me? It's a great film. What's some of the takeaways that you've learned on this film? Kind of jump you back into this conversation.
Man, just just seeing his commitment, because like you said, it started in 2017.
Right.
And then to go through COVID and, with everything that was going on, everything that happened, and each of the actors and actresses' individual lives, because, as they say, life be lifing. And so everybody had something going on, but still to be able to come together. So just it was a combined discipline effort. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get people on the same page as far as scheduling and stuff goes, But just everybody like, man, we got to get on the same page. Let's finish it. One common goal. Everybody we got to finish this film. We got to get Bruce out. This is his baby. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, just the takeaways is just seeing what can happen when you put your mind to it. And even with some of the scenes that we shared in there where I was like, man, you got to put your big boy draws on. It might have been moments where it was like, man, this only like it's going to happen. Like, man, you got to put your big boy draw. You came this far. You know what I'm saying? You already in pain. Get a reward for it.
Yeah, there you go. Eric Thomas right there.
Yeah. Because off camera, especially during the production of this, we still hung out, and then we talking the same way. It was like, man, like you say, life is life, and then he made my right shoulder to the crown when I was like, man, nah, you gotta get the film done, and we just sit there and talk, and he'd talk me out of trouble, talk me off a ledge. Literally.
And now you're ready to go do a bigger thing. You're like, I'm going to go do twice as big. It's going to be twice as big. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. So I'm really excited for your success, and I appreciate you coming on the podcast and all that fun stuff. And man, I just like I said, I really love the film. I thought it was great. I just thought the characters were great, and it just, when you watch it, it's like, I've seen some St. Louis films, and no offense to those St. Louis filmmakers out there, but I was like, wow, this seems like this could have been made from like a indie film that's from out of the state or something. That's why I thought when I watched it. So.
Oh, we had to do it here in St. Louis, you know.
Right.
We most definitely had to do it for the city. The city, you know.
Yeah.
For the city.
So we're finding on Tubi. So 13 films is the production company. 13.
Fall 13.
Fall 13. Fall 13. So if people are interested in getting involved with your next project, do they check out that? How should they contact you?
You can reach out to me, you know, even on Facebook, Instagram, send me a message, or you can email me, you know, bruce.cunningham@fall13films.com.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, you can get in contact with me. I'm all over, you know, it's not hard to find me. So.
And so you get, every time somebody plays on Tubi, so every time you go to bed this week, just turn on Tubi, put Unresolved on, let it play out.
Appreciate it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, leave a review on Amazon.
Okay.
Leave a review on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
And make sure y'all too leave a review.
I will.
Tell me how you
I
like it
will.
on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So, any other thing you want
No, I've just I think y'all have known each other a long time, and it looks like it's a good team that put this together, you know. And so you had the right people with you, and family, and you said your church is involved, so it looked like you had a good group, you know. And so I'm sure you have more of that in the
drawing board, and you know, start it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't this, what would you ever consider doing, like a comedy or anything like that? Science fiction, anything?
Science fiction, yes.
Okay.
Comedy is more, I think it's more difficult because you got to actually be funny.
Yeah.
If you ain't funny, it's like,
you got a guy right here. It's
just, you know, yeah, but we were just being our normal selves.
But I know, but that would make I think it makes it
good.
funny because you're kind of like the straight guy, and then he's kind of like the, you know, that's how the yin and yang work. Yeah.
Yeah, because we you know, talking about our acting careers, I remember, you know, it had to be like 20 years ago. They did that movie here, that soccer movie.
Oh, a game of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a casting call.
Oh, I went to that. You went to that too?
Yeah.
Okay. You were in that cattle call? I was in that cattle call.
Man, it was a long line on the south side at that school.
Yeah, at that school. Yeah.
It was hot summer day.
It was hot as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, we was in that long line.
Yeah, I was there too. Yeah.
And we would get resumes, headshots. We was in there. Yeah.
I didn't get casted. Did you get casted?
Nah.
I think it was all like.
I don't think there was no brothers in that film.
I was going to let you say it. I didn't want to.
Ain't want no brothers.
By the time we got in the room to do the thing, they were just like, just leave your picture and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. They're probably done for the. Yeah.
So, but I was walking back to the car because we was walking to the car, and some dude he was walking with us. You know, he just talked too much. But I was kind of like, you know, yeah, okay, you know, because I wanted to talk to him. But like, you know, shoot, dude. But you know, he was a cool guy. But you know, whoever he was. But I was just thinking, man, it was just like, hell no. Ain't no way. I'm sitting for these long lines, not to even get casted, not even get a car. I got to do something. I gotta do something, man. We can't just sit here like that no more. Well, that ticked me off. And so, you know, we put on stuff for, you know, for church and whatnot. And so when I came with this one, I was like, hey, let's do this.
Well, that's why I never went out to LA, and you're probably the same boat that I am. That like, because I no offense to people who are commercial actors and stuff, I don't want to be in a commercial and act and be bartender number 2 or whatever. I want to make a film or make a skit that I created, you know, from the ground up, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's just 'cause I made it happen.
Right.
So you know, sitting around waiting for somebody to give me an opportunity, I might be 85 before that happens. And I ain't saying it no knock to anybody.
Right.
or any process. It was just like, for me,
Right.
I want to act, I want to do movies. I gotta bet on myself.
Right.
So okay, cool, bro. You with me? Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, cool. And then so let's do it. I didn't anticipate it taking it long, but but hey, get in where you fit in. So,
we were talking about this scene earlier. This is
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that was already there.
Yeah, that was already there.
Yeah, that was already there. So we just used it.
And then right there, there they are. That's a great way to end the podcast.
Movies.
Right. So, no, man, I'm excited for you. Please come back anytime. A little backstory on my buddy Clayton over here. We've actually, he owns a bunch of different properties, and he said, how many films have filmed at your house and at your properties?
Oh,
At
I don't know.
At least over 11, 12
Various projects. Yeah.
various
yeah.
projects or whatever. So if you ever need help with anything like casting or locations and stuff, man, feel free to call me and call us, because we love what you're doing.
I'm gonna hold you all to that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're live. We're live. It's recorded.
All right.
Well, yeah. Tomorrow we got the photo shoot at the new warehouse.
Yeah, we got
property,
Sunday.
so.
Yeah, we got a photo shoot at the new warehouse that he bought, and he has a haunt.
Yeah, a haunted house.
Used to be
We've
the
had
old sawmill in West Alton.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very scary location, or it looks like a rundown, old timey scene. But more scary than old, I guess. But that's where we have our haunted house too.
I'm gonna have to contact you all. I got
Oh yeah.
And then
some brewing.
And then when your character comes back from the dead, he comes on the podcast, so you can film it here or whatever. I can talk to the character. So
I just need some makeup,
Yeah. But thank you, Bruce.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Definitely check it out Unresolved on Tubi. Check it out on Amazon. Write a review. A good review, folks. Write a good review. This is St. Louis made. Great filmmaker. A lot of big things happening for him. Check out the artistunitednetwork.com, and we will see you guys again this Sunday for our photo shoot. So we are out.
All right.